Yes, we're live. We're live on the first maiden episode for the Talent Edge podcast. And this time we're doing a little bit of a switch around. I have Cephas, who's part of our team and who's project managing this on the ground in Nigeria. So, Cephas, would you like to start to lead this podcast episode?
Awesome. So thank you so much, Caroline, for your presence here, and then we thank you for the amazing initiative that you have actually put forward, and we are working very hard to see it actualized. Um, Thank you for the warm introduction as well. I'm Kefas, and yeah, I believe talent edge is something that is very, very important, especially at this particular time. And what we are about to do, we are not reinventing the wheel. We are trying to make sure that we come up with something more productive, something more realistic, and something that will make a sustainable impact in the lives of the people that we are trying to reach out to and to impact. It has been an amazing journey so far, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kefas. So, I know you have a list of questions you've already curated for today's episode. And
Sure.
like I was saying backstage, I think it's really important for us to continue to humanize these conversations, because after all, that's what we are. And we have this structure, but I think it's important for it to be as conversational as possible. So, would you like to start with what you have planned?
Okay, yeah, perfect. The thing is, I've gone through your work. I've seen what you've been doing through the chrysalis, and sometime to 2023, there was a project that you executed perfectly in Nigeria. Yeah, the project between a project that brought different countries together. At least in West Africa, we had Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. Sustainable water management. And I'm just curious to know, what actually inspired you to start the chrysalis, and how has your journey been so far?
Yeah, yeah. So, you have those questions where you've spoken about empowerment, and I want to kind of start with that because I believe that my own life has taught me that the more we give our power up to anything beyond our own control and capacity, that's when we start to feel powerless. And I continue to be reminded of this even now, even through learning and doing so much in this space. And in way back in like 2010, I had already seen an insight of this vision of creating community, of building space where we could provide tools and frameworks for people to learn, get the information and knowledge, and then use it, transform themselves, and use it in a way that they can go forward and do something valuable for their communities. But it evolved with my own life and my own story. It started to evolve, and during the COVID time is when we launched the chrysalis. So the chrysalis is the space where the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and is forced to go through all these changes in order to change into a butterfly, and it's a very painful process. And that's why we believe that one change is whether we know it, want it, it's going to happen. So we can, run and retreat, or we can move into it headlong. And chrysalis is that space that helps facilitate people who are willing, who are ready to participate in their own growth. And we want to provide the tools, the frameworks, the mentorship, and all of these different support structures to help them move along with their goals. And oh, I think we have lost you. I hope. Are you able to hear us, Kepas? Yeah, so for the benefit of our viewers now and even watching this recording forward, yeah, so in 2021 is when we launched the Chrysalis, and we did it in Nigeria. We started it with 150 youth, and we focused on Bitcoin. I'm sorry, not Bitcoin, but blockchain technologies. Welcome back. Welcome back. Blockchain technologies, and I had made some sort of studies, invested in understanding what uh, youth were going through over there in Nigeria, and keeping that in mind, I also understood the utility space when it came to blockchain technologies. And so that's really what we anchored into. But as we started to work with that in 2021, I started to realize how dedicated, ambitious the youth are. Like, I was just pulling up some data from Afrobarometer around, some statistics. And Nigeria has 236 million youth, um, and yeah, out of that, I think about close to 60% of them are under the age of 30 years old. And when you look at that, and you look at the rate of unemployment, those are some of the things back then as well, that I started to realize were actual problems that we need to work with. Because working locally and understanding what people are going through and trying to help provide solutions that will help them, um, go forward, is kind of where we started to pivot. So in 2022, yeah, you're right, we did some work around wastewater sanitation management. And then in 2023, we started to plan out the program for STEM or STEAM. And if you remember, because you've been a part of the Chrysalis for the last like 3 years now, we had an overwhelming 30,000 people, young women, for the STEM program that applied. And we had to pick 100 of them. And that's what we kind of facilitated last year, a STEM program that would provide subsets of climate entrepreneurship and innovation in sustainability. And we had some lessons as well internally that we had to take as feedback with regards to, the priorities right now. I was looking at some more data on how youth look at prioritizing life in terms of, getting qualitative jobs, the high cost of living in Nigeria at the moment, electricity being such a problem, and being educated. So it's quite interesting to see that young people under the age of 25 have gone through not just basic but slightly higher education, but they still don't find qualitative jobs in Nigeria. And the questions that they ask the government are, how are you supporting employment? How are you bettering this index? And I want to segue into the Talent Edge program, and that's why this year we decided to, instead of looking at our solutions from a one sided perspective, because while these are complex problems, they're not complicated. And those are two very different phenomena. So we said we need to partner with the right organizations. We need to look at what companies are saying on the ground. Why are they not able to hire? If people are educated, why are they still not able to hire, talent that's ready to be employed? And that's really where Talent Edge comes in. And we have a phenomenal team. I'm going to, open it up for Kefas to also share more about Earth Peace Action and our team for Talent Edge. But we have a phenomenal team. Kefas is leading it on the ground. And each of these people are people who really believe in the mission of wanting to, uh, if I were to simplify our mission for Talent Edge, it would be that we want to help prepare candidates to be hireable. So we are improving the rate of hireability for candidates out there who may be educated but don't have the right skills. And then from the company perspective, there's a lot of effort that goes into the recruitment drives, campus hiring, and being able to invest in the time and effort to put people on that. And we want to help that. We want to bridge that gap by saying, in substance, that through these programs, we are building candidates up, not just to be hired, but to grow in the company. Because as they grow, they will contribute more meaningfully. They can move up that value chain, and see themselves as being, a valuable contributor in those organizations. So let me take a pause, Kefas, and I want to invite you. And I know we've kind of thrown all the questions out the window right now, but I think in a very organic way, we are kind of bringing them back, so that this becomes a lot more natural. So tell us about how you got into this. Why is this important for you, and how Earth Peace Action came into fruition?
Thank you so much, Caroline. In fact, listening to you, it's inspiring because I want to first of all comment on what you said. You said the problem of unemployment and trying to help the youth is a very complex situation, but it is not complicated. So it's awesome. Thank you. That actually shows your courage and what has been inspiring you to work closely with organizations on the ground like Earth Peace Action. So to answer your question, I started Earth Peace Action. I was inspired to start Earth Peace Action many years ago, but I think in 2021 that was when it became clearer to me when I was teaching in a secondary school, or if you like call it high school. I saw that we have many young people who are very talented, who have the passion, who have the drive, but so many things were lacking. The infrastructures and all the environment to actually help them to cultivate, to use, harness this talent was actually lacking. And because of that, a lot of young people were beginning to find solutions which were actually not in line with 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 the general good of the society, to the extent that the internet was tagging many young people in Nigeria and especially in Africa with so many names. So I was inspired to create an environment, a hub where the youth can actually come around. Those who do not have skills will be able to find skills, because like the skills that we're talking about, they're actually very many. We have technical skill, we have vocational skills, we have let me say talent discovery, people who can dance, people who can sing, and all of these things. People can have actually a welcoming or a community that can embrace them and help them to become what they want to become. This perfectly align with what you are doing at the Chrysalis, and I'm very happy to be part of this journey of the Chrysalis, Earth Peace Action over here. And I'm very sure that putting all these things together and putting the experience and the so many amazing works that you've done through the Chrysalis in Africa and what I'm doing here on the ground to actualize our vision and our goals for Talent Edge is something that's very, very possible, and it's something that I've already seen or imagined coming to pass. Thank you so much, and I'm very sure I'm more optimistic, going forward on this project.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to bring in something that you shared, and it kind of struck me because I remember some of these conversations that we had maybe about 2 years ago about some of the things like crime, right, and security, and how
Oh,
they relate
perfect.
to youth, right? And this really struck a chord even right now when you brought this up, because um, we have to feel. I believe we have to feel a level of anger, and you know because a lot of times there is a lot of shame around this emotion, but If you look closer, the messaging underneath the anger is, a feeling of either not doing enough or not speaking up, or wanting to take action around something. And it's oftentimes, while it's looks like it's directed outside, it's anger that's within oneself, about why am I not doing something about it, why am I not taking action. And while I might be, narrowing down the context to this, we can also generalize it to many other situations where we feel this emotion, and knowing, and sitting with it, not shaming ourselves, because there is a deeper reason for feeling anger, feeling rage. And what is the message in that? What is the meaning of it? And for even just looking at the kind of statistics that we were talking about, a lot of the youth are also feeling this. It's not that they don't want to do anything and they don't care. They do care. That's why there are protests happening, and youth coming out on the streets. And why? Because they're trying to feel seen, and do have a strong message. And this is where programs like this come in, because we want to, instead of contributing further in the direction of the problem, we want to see how we can use this emotion, transform it in a way that is valuable, allowing our youth to feel seen, to feel understood, recognizing that they want better jobs. A lot of the data shows that they want to start business as well, but they don't have the tools, they don't have the necessary frameworks. And this is where programs like this come in, because what we are standing for is saying that we understand the frustration, and we don't want to add to it. We want to see how we can work with all these systems, because it can't be just with the youth, it's got to be with the government, it's got to be with companies, but being the glue that helps bring these conversations together. One, to create room for support to come in, whether it is mentorship, hand holding, funding, networking, because these are all essentials regardless of what we are trying to do. And then
Mm.
saying that as a result of these programs, we have X number of people who have gotten placed in companies. So the training has an end, it has a goal, and it has a tangible goal, because we want to improve employment. We want to see people start businesses. And the only way that can be done, one of the ways at least, is to provide the information, the tools, the space. And sometimes it's not even about provision, sometimes it's about mobilization, because it might be there, but we're not tapping into it. We haven't opened up those, we haven't unlocked those conversations. So that's really some of the things that we are thinking through and working through in this program. um
Yes.
yeah, go ahead, Kefas.
Yeah, thank you. I want to add to what you have said. I was that was in around 2023 when I was when IP Action was beginning to grow and to expand. I was worried about, because the same what we are planning to do at what we are doing at Talent Edge is the same thing that that conceived many years ago. I visited some companies, some organizations, some agencies, and I was trying to ask them, like, is it that there are no vacancies or people are not applying? And I got a response from a few of them that shocked me till today. I was told that there are many young graduates who are not employable. There are many young graduates who are not employable. Now, I was trying to ask, how can the graduate not be employable? Now, our educational system, I'm not speaking against our educational system, but most of it is theory. Now, the world has actually advanced into practical knowledge, technologies, so many things beyond the books, the exam, the test, and all of these things. There are so many other aspects, of education that could make one employable. Now, these managers, office or head of companies, organizations, like many of them told me the same thing. So what Talent Edge has come up with is something that will answer that question or will challenge that perception about the youth. We are now trying to make sure that we have a youth population that is actually employable. And I found out something very, 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 very important. There are many jobs actually. Yeah, there are jobs, there are companies, and there are vacancies. But most of these companies, most of these organizations, they are skeptical about the kind of young people that they want to employ. For instance, well, it's not very safe to mention a particular individual here, but he's a very popular person. This is somebody who started a company, and he brought he brought workers from China. All the workers, about 2,000 plus, all these workers were hired from China, and they were. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, exactly. So like this, the problem that we are trying to solve, we're trying to make sure that all those who actually participate in this program, Talent Edge program, find the skills. And the skills are not just technical, we're talking about soft skills as well. And that is actually lacking in many organizations, and many organizations are looking for people who have all these soft skills, time management, emotional intelligence, like so many, which I'm very sure you will speak on better. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So the program is, holistic. We're looking at the whole person. Skill is one part of it, and anyone out there listening to this will know that the general rule of thumb for hiring is not really to hire as much for skill as it is for attitude and for willingness, because we can learn anything if we're willing and we really want to. And so some of the other things, especially with the current generation, which are in my opinion being lost, particularly because we're so attached to our devices and we hardly look up in order to connect and to communicate, is essentially that the essential skills of communication, uh, you know things that are required to build relationships. And this also reminds me of how there's only that much we can do when it comes to learning a skill. But beyond that, that's where we have to use problem solving, critical thinking, decision making. You spoke about time and prioritization. These are very crucial, they're very critical. And a lot of times we can lose out on opportunities simply because we don't have these skills that we have developed. So we want to really bring these in, and these are part of the curriculum that we have designed inside the content and the material, primarily because we're setting you up as a candidate for life. It's not just about one job. And
Mm.
I believe it's comprehensive, and it'll provide a lot more confidence. And I think we just lost you again. Yeah. So as we wrap up, I don't know if Kefas has any more points. I'm just looking at the questions that we had, and we pretty much covered everything. Um, if you'd like to learn more about this program, we will be sharing details by and by on how things are going, and we will have our contact information for you to get in touch if you'd like to participate, if you're in Nigeria, and if you know of partners and companies that are either willing to partner with us by way of employment or any other pathway that would help provide this as a success story, not just for this year but successive years as we go along and evolve. Please reach out to us. You can find us on LinkedIn, and we want to thank you for being a part of this. This is the first maiden episode, and yes, I think he has just rejoined. Kefas, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Sorry about the interruption.
Yeah, I was just wrapping up and letting our viewers know that they can reach out. And I know that you and the team have been doing a good job in marketing while you've been reaching out to companies and partners. So, are there any final words that you would like to share before we close loop today's episode?
Of course, yes. I want to sincerely thank the team for this project, Talent Edge. All the departments are amazing. You guys are doing very, very wonderful. The R&D, marketing, and Nifemi, marketing and communication, comfort, Francis Lakon, logistics, Bennett. Thank you all so much. This is something that is truly transformational. And what we are doing, we are not doing it, just for ourselves. We are doing it for the entire hello.
Yes, you're back. Please go ahead. Continue. Continue. Kefas, we can hear you.
Oh, great. So I just want to appreciate everyone. Caroline, thank you so much for all the effort you are doing over there. I want to assure everyone listening to us that we have all it takes to get this project done, and we are already there. So you can subscribe to all our platform to so that you'll be updated with the progress and then everything that we are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much. And we look forward to the next episode coming up to showcase our team as well as some of our mentors who have been working with us. Have a good one. Wish you well. Thank you so much. Bye.